What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of 30 Minutes of Hell. I am your host, Brandon Baker, joined as always by Joey Jackson and Matt Jackson. And we've got another Razorback win to talk about today. Back to back, kind of weird, ugly-ish wins, but we take them where we can get them. And even in an ugly win, in a game where Darius Acuff starts 1 of 10 from the field, Malik Thomas has a rough first half, Arkansas still pulls out a 15-point victory against a team that could very well be in the tournament. And I don't think, like, before we even get into it, I don't think that should be taken for granted. How much fun it is to have a team that wins these kind of games and wins a lot more often than they don't. But let's get into the actual nitty gritty of this game. We talked about it a little bit on the last pod with how, Hogs are kind of shorthanded dealing with injuries. Foul trouble is an issue every game when you only have seven guys. Acuff is clearly still hobbled. I mentioned he didn't have the greatest start. But it was really encouraging to see everyone else step up enough to like maintain a lead for this entire game. There was one little stretch where Arkansas let their foot off the pedal, and Texas A&M came back just a little bit, got within like 5 or 6 points, and then Arkansas just kind of blew it wide open again. And to do that without your best offensive threats, like playing to their capability, is huge. Like everyone else learning to step up and be a factor in those moments is big. That should definitely not go unnoticed. So big props to everyone else on the team.
Yeah. And like you said, just seeing everybody come out and know how to win, that is like a thing that I feel like, haven't seen in a while with Arkansas basketball. It's just we always have teams that just can't seem to grind out these wins. And yeah, Acuff going from one of the most atrocious games I've ever witnessed a player play, to scoring 20. I mean, come on, that's amazing. That is just guts at that point, just getting shots to fall. And I know we're going to talk about individual players here soon, but how about those bigs? Brazil and Ewan had amazing games, almost both of them double doubles. And Brazil does his very sneaky. Like, you don't realize he's scoring double digits, I feel like. And then he does. He has 14. And I am very proud of that game. I'm happy with it. I felt like we controlled it for the most part. Maybe a couple
there
little
there were two
runs.
two parts when we didn't control it, and that's when we went down 11-2 at the
Yeah,
start,
yeah,
and then whenever they fought their way back to within five, we kind of lost control.
yeah.
I'm incredibly impressed with Ewan. We've talked all year about how great of an offensive rebounder he is. Out of his 9 rebounds, 7 of those were offensive boards. And Brennan touched on it last episode, but him and I went to the game together. We watched it in person, and I leaned over to him about it was probably about halfway through or maybe it was at the end of the first half, and I was like, I think all 4 or 5 of Ewan's rebounds right now are offensive boards. So like literally every one of his rebounds was offensive. And genuinely, I think that's just because how much he likes to score, how much he likes offense. Like you're not going to see him get 7 defensive rebounds. You're lucky if you see him get 5 defensive rebounds. But that man is going to battle his way to get an offensive board and a putback. So and I love to see it. Those are that's what matters. Um it was really a tale of two halves for me. It We were shooting 39% from the field at halftime. Atrocious. And I think at one point we were shooting like 12% from three. We didn't end from three much better. We ended up shooting 24% from deep. But by the end of the game, shooting 51%, like we really just flipped a switch in the second half. And specifically Acuff. Like, I mean, going 1 for 10, he was Brandon, I think you tweeted about it. He was kind of on triple double watch at the end of the half. He had like 5-5-5 or 5-4-5, something like that. And you know, for a player to be able to, it takes mental toughness to be able to start a game not being able to buy a basket no matter what you're throwing up, and then finishing the game 7 for 19. Like I mean, he ended up going 6 for 9 in the second half, like after starting 1 for 10. Like that's incredible. Like the mental fortitude for a freshman to be able to come in and flip a breaker in the second half and be able to do that, is just so encouraging for, March.
And I hope that he can build on the finish that he had to this game, because this is the second game in a row now that we've seen a relatively inefficient night. Even though the counting stats ended up good, both of the games he ended with 20 points. This is the first time all season that he's shot sub 37% in back-to-back games. But he did finish like 6 of 9. Like he finished on such a good stretch that I like, we've seen him just flip a switch and turn it on late in games, but I hope that this will at least maybe break him out of that 1 of 10 slump that he started this game on. I don't want to see that again, and I don't want him to have to go crazy for a 5 minute stretch to be able to like impact the game and get his points up. But it is also fun that when your best player has a bad game, it still ends at 22, 7, and 5 on, and like 3 steals and whatever else he had. Like every single game. We can talk about it every podcast. This is the greatest player I've ever watched play basketball at Arkansas, and it's fun.
Well,
Um,
second greatest player.
oh, besides the new leading scorer,
Billy the GOAT Richmond. Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Soon to be late first round pick, Billy Richmond.
He's playing his way in.
Dude, I knew he was a draft pick as soon as the commentators started talking about how amazing he is. Once the ESPN commentators start talking about how amazing this player is and start comparing him to NBA players, you're like, oh no, he's gone, isn't he? But I love the guy. He's amazing. Wait, did he even score the second half? I feel like he had 23 in the first half, and then he just went non-existent.
I think he had a field goal in the second half, but I could be wrong about that.
I was like, he's going to get 30, and then he just stopped scoring. I was like, oh, man. But
yeah, he had a few in the second half. He had, I think he scored 15 in the first half, and then because he was right on pace for 30, and then ended with like 23.
Yeah.
So,
but either way, Billy Richmond, amazing game per usual. I was like, he really needs to throw a dud so he stays next year. And teams don't want him, but he didn't. And that's okay. I've kind of come to terms with him not being there. But along with Billy, we'll talk about the other returner, DJ Wagner.
I was just about to bring him up.
I mean, he did well. I was very happy with how he played. I wish he could knock down a three. I know he wants to knock down a three, but other than that, just getting to the right spot. When Acuff sat for a little while, DJ led the offense, and he did very well, I feel like. I mean, we were a little wishy-washy, but
I want to say too, before we get too far removed from Billy, that it's been huge, like the level of confidence that has grown within him. We've talked about how he's really settled into how he knows to score, where like he catches the ball and I want to say that his first step is so good when he catches the ball on the wing, but really he's already on like his third step by the time he catches the ball, because he catches it full speed already to get to the rim. But because he's figured out those ways to score so well, we can see his confidence rising, right? And in SEC play, he went on an 0 of 12 stretch from 3-point range. And in his last 2 games, he's now 3 of 5, which is way better than the Billy that we ever thought we could get. I don't expect 60% to be sustainable, but now if he can hit a 3 or 2, here and there throughout the rest of the season, that takes us to a whole new level. If you have to guard Billy Richmond on the perimeter, because then that first step, that catch on the wing and take off, that works so much better if a defender has to close out to him out there on the perimeter. So big shout out to that as well, getting back on track, getting that confidence enough, raised enough to be able to knock down some shots. But yes, I agree completely. I said to Joey walking into the game, I think that it's about time that we get more or a couple of good games from DJ Wagner. Do you remember I said that? I thought that maybe we might get more from him in this game, but he's playing his role very well. And there have been now 2 or 3 times in the last 5 games where Acuff has gone to the bench and we've seen a little mini run with DJ and Billy kind of controlling the ball and, playing within an offense, and things actually look pretty well. We have a good defensive unit on the court. We run, and yeah, I love the role that DJ is settling into.
And I think it helps tremendously that we have this Billy Richmond to be on the
Yes.
court. He is just as well, I won't say just as dominant of a scorer, but dude can score.
I mean, he's becoming a true force on the offensive side.
And so,
like, it's unstoppable because he goes so hard too that if you try to stop him, you're going to foul him, and he's hitting his free throws too. Like, he's figured it out.
He's not like crafty like Acuff per se, but like, I mean, when he gets around the rim, he's like Dr. J. But he's just really becoming dominant, and that's helping Wagner. I feel like when he leads the offense, he doesn't have to be like, I've got to be the one to score. Give it to Billy. Billy can score just as well. And
Brandon, you talk about pretty often how the game's slowing down for Billy, and there were multiple times in this game in particular, and I've noticed it in a few games earlier in the season, but if you would have seen him play last year, every time he's got the ball in, whether it's a 1-on-2 break, a 2-on-3 break, or anything, like, he's head down driving straight to the rim. But this game, he slowed down. Like, he saw the numbers weren't in his favor. He pulled the ball out. He didn't force anything. Like, he's just becoming a smarter player. And
becoming a vet.
Yes. And that's exactly what we needed out of him this year. I was skeptical on if we were going to get... I would have never guessed in a million years that we would get leading scorer Billy Richmond on a squad with Darius Acuff and Malik Thomas. But he's incredible. I eat my words, and I'm so happy to have Billy on the team and producing the way that he is, even if it's him producing himself onto an NBA roster. I'm loving the guy.
And it's not just like the one game that he's leading scorer, right? Like, it's 4 in a row now that he's had 20 points. It's 19 points per game over his last 7, and it's efficient shooting. He has not shot below 56% over his last 5. Like, it's crazy how good he's been, how well he has settled in to what he is good at, and he's better at it than maybe anyone else. The little things that he does well. It's been awesome to watch him. We left a little early from talking about Malik Ewan earlier. I wanted to stick on that a little bit more. 18-9 from Ewan is one of the best games we've seen from him as a Hog. And you talked a lot about how he's such a good offensive rebounder. It's such like I do think obviously the effort is different on the offensive side than the defensive side. I think you're absolutely right. But if you watch him, like, he's so good. Like, it's a weird skill set that he has to position himself so well for offensive rebounds. It's like he doesn't try to push anyone out of the way. He just kind of like slips into a nice little soft spot in the defense and just waits. And he gets so many of them like that. But it has been huge because it's not just the numbers on the page, but like the timeliness of some of the offensive boards that he gets are massive. Like, when they're going on runs and we're trying to get like stop the bleeding and get out of a run from the opponent, like him getting an offensive board, sometimes it gets the crowd into it. Sometimes it opens up a 3. This game, he had an offensive board right under the rim and went straight up and dunked on 3 people. Like, those are the kind of plays that we need from a center that can really actually like shift us to be the team that we want to be, because we've always said that our front court is the weakness, right? Like Darius Acuff, Malik Thomas, Billy Richmond, that's not the weakness. It's what do we get out of Nick Pringle? What do we get out of Malik Ewan? If you get this out of Malik Ewan, now we're looking at maybe like a deep run tournament team if Ewan can play like this. So him specifically moving forward, I'm very interested in. I was very interested to see that he got almost all of the second half minutes in this game over Pringle, even though Pringle continues to start over him. Whatever. If we end up being, Malik Ewan 34 minutes, Nick Pringle 8, I'm pretty happy with that. If Ewan is going to play the way that he played in this game. So that's a huge thing that I'm watching moving forward. And we're going to get into why they matter so much in this next preview, because Florida is going to be all about the bigs. That's the story in that game. But
I need Ewan to step up as far as he needs to be tougher on defense. He's a little squishy.
Yes.
I mean, I watched
a little what?
Squishy. He's a little squishy.
Soft? Is that a synonym? What do we do?
Yeah,
a little squishy.
He's a little squishy. Okay. All right.
I hope he hears that.
I hope he does too. I feel like that's more embarrassing than soft.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
squishy.
I'd be scared
Listen,
if I called Malik Ewan squishy and I saw him in person. I'd be scared.
well, listen, I watched him multiple times last night.
You heard it here, Malik Ewan. Alex Condon is on this pod calling you squishy.
he was straight up with a guy, and what was his name? Agi? Is that
A G, yeah.
Agi? Yeah. He took one blow, and Ewan's like 3 feet away from him. I mean,
yeah. but hold on.
Listen,
that dude's a freight train.
He is, but he doesn't. It's not just him. It is multiple people. He had it against that.
It happened with Clements a couple times.
Clements, yeah. And it's just like he should not be taken advantage of like that. You know, I feel like it's embarrassing as a big to be kind of manhandled like that. So
dang, Matt,
just step up. Just step up on defense.
Taking advantage of, manhandled. Golly.
I cannot stand bigs that get bullied. All right, on defense, they have to step up. And Ewan, if we're not going to have Pringle playing well, all right, because he's clearly not. He's our bully big, and he can't play more than 8 minutes. So Ewan has to step up, dude.
All right. You heard it here first, folks. Make sure you clip this, Brandon, and put it in the teaser trailer.
Yeah, that's Matt's just like mid rant face is going to be the thumbnail for this one.
Vein popping.
I don't disagree with anything you're saying. It sucks that we have to choose between, you know, in theory, what should be our defensive big, and then the guy that's actually producing offensively that doesn't give us enough defensively. Like, it sucks that we're in this position. But we've talked at length about how I still feel like Pringle is just not giving us the theoretical defense that we need from him. So I just think that this, like, it's clear to me that this is the better option, even when he has to be better defensively.
Yeah, and I much rather would have Ewan playing than Pringle. Trust me. I'm not a Ewan hater by any means. I just went on a little rant there, guys. My bad.
You know what I want? Wait, hold on. You know what I want to rant about real quick is the 2 stupid passes that Billy Richmond threw in this game, where one went straight out of bounds and one about hit the jumbotron.
It hit the jumbotron.
Like, what are we doing? Like. That's my soapbox.
Billy gets a little excited still. Give him a break.
He's still a goat. Yeah.
As you know by now, we have teamed up with BetMGM again this season. We'll be using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we will have special offers for Field of 68 fans, including same-game parlays, best-in-class live betting, and daily odds boost. If you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD to get up to a $1,500 first bet offer on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. You download the BetMGM app, you sign up using bonus code FIELD, you deposit at least $10 and place your first wager on any game, and you receive up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your bet loses. Just make sure you use that bonus code FIELD when you sign up. Make this college basketball season one for the history books. Make it legendary. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, use bonus code FIELD and get your $1,500 first bet offer today.
Let's move on from this game. Up next, biggest game left on the schedule. It's been circled on the schedule pretty much since the beginning. On the road at Florida, Saturday matchup. Playing at Florida is a big game no matter what. Playing at a top 10 ranked Florida team makes it even bigger. They're both fighting for the SEC championship, makes it a little bit bigger. College game day is going to be in town. We're approaching biggest game of the season type status. And then they have our starting point guard from last year that transferred in. All right, there's so many storylines heading into this game. And like we don't even really have time to cover all of them, but Florida is a dangerous team, and the thing that makes them so dangerous is exactly what we just finished talking about being one of our like weak points as a team for the Razorbacks. and that is their front court. They have 3 guys in the front court that could genuinely make cases to be on the All SEC first team. They will probably all 3 be All SEC players in some capacity. Hoff is 6'9", versatile forward, scores from a lot of positions, can get you in foul trouble, is going to be relentless on the glass, can put the ball on the deck a little bit. This would be a great matchup for Carter Knox if he was available. I think we're going to see a lot of Billy on him. Billy's a little smaller than him, so it's going to take some effort for Billy to be on this matchup and not pick up too many fouls early. Then you have Alex Condon, who's been calling Malik Ewan squishy per reports, but 6'11" starting center probably will be first team All SEC in the center spot. Again, relentless on the glass, over 2 offensive rebounds per game, averaging a lot of assists too. He's a very high IQ player for his size. The exact perfect college big man, in my opinion. He had a chance to go pro last year, but he just fits the college style so well that he's back this year. He makes Florida so dangerous. And then you have Ruben Chinyelu, who is another 6'11" guy who's probably going to be all SEC first team defender. And I mean, these 3 guys are going to, truthfully, I'm worried they're going to eat us alive. They're going to be a puzzle that we're going to have to solve all game again and again and again. And I think we are talented enough to hang with a team like Florida. I just don't love the way we match up from a personnel perspective because of these 3 guys. I think our guards are better than Boogie Fland and Xavier Lee. I think both of those guys are dynamic and can be good scorers and stretches, but I don't think anything about them worries me more than anyone else we've played. It's the front court. It's those 3 bigs against our smaller front court without Carter Knox there, with Pringle struggling, with Ewan not a good defender, with Brazil not strong enough to hold someone like Chinyelu if he gets matched up there. There's a lot that I don't love about this matchup from a front court perspective.
And with us not being able to control our fouls.
Exactly.
I know a lot of that's not on. I don't want to blame refs for anything, but there have been some pretty touchy fouls on our bigs the last couple games. But yeah, it's just Chinelu's one of the best rebounders that I have seen. He's got 3 or 4 20 rebound games this season. You don't see that. That's gonna be a matchup nightmare. Condon's gonna be a matchup nightmare. This is going to be, in my opinion, the toughest game that we play all season.
Yeah, and it's not just because, like I said, it's not just because we don't match up on a talent level. It's just because we don't match up on a personnel level, right? Exactly what you said. Yeah.
All right, guys. I watched the Florida-Texas game last night. All right.
Thank God.
We're winning by 30.
Yeah, listen,
that's what's coming.
Listen. I have the Matt Jackson keys to victory. All right. Listen up. It's really just one key. Okay. I'm going to butcher this name, but Texas's Voikititis. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
That's how they were saying it. About fouled out all of their bigs. Okay. If there is one guy that can do it, it is Ewan. All right. Because I put a lot on one game of Houston, but that was the most dominant performance of selling every foul I've ever seen in my life. If Ewan can sell as much as possible, because Florida's bigs, they grab a lot. They grab your jersey, they grab your hip. If you can sell it, you get them into foul trouble. Their defense is negated a little bit. We all know well that if you start getting fouls, you can't play good defense. Cough, cough, Alabama. Literally any game, we're always getting in foul trouble. But you do that, you limit the power of their front court, because Texas gave themselves a shot. Florida's guards really started pulling it out towards the end. So Boogie and is it Lee?
Lee solid.
So they started pulling it away. But overall, that was the key to Texas even keeping it close, even being ahead at times.
And I think what makes Florida such a dangerous team is Tommy Boy's good. Tommy is really good. He's their best player. I mean, that's easy to say. But they've got
Potential SEC Player of the Year. He's one of
Yeah,
the top 3 guys probably in that
yeah.
race.
He's great, but he's not the reason that Florida is as good as they are. They have surrounded him with incredible pieces. You've got Boogie, you've got Lee, you've got Condon, you've got Chinaloo. Like they have a great core group. And I'm really looking to, the Boogie Acuff matchup is going to be really interesting. And I'm really looking to our guys, our surrounding guys to even out this matchup. Like I need to see a big game from Brazil. I need to see him knock down some shots because his ability to stretch the floor is what's going to keep us in this game. I'm looking at Malik Thomas. I need him, Boogie's a terrific defender. I don't think that anybody can slow down Acuff. Like don't get me wrong. But if anyone can, Fland is gonna slow him down. I'm looking at Malik Thomas to give us a big night. And like you said, Matt, I need Ewan to come and be dominant, be a paint beast, like grab boards, score in the paint, draw fouls. Like I think I think the X factors of this game on both sides of the ball are going to be those surrounding players. Like I don't think the game is going to be decided by Hoff. I don't think the game is going to be decided by Acuff. I think it's going to be decided from our 2 through 5.
Yeah. I truly feel like you have to take advantage of the paint, even though their bigs are so good. You have to take advantage of driving in because you have to get calls. You have to get these bigs in foul trouble. You have to have them on their heels. If you don't, they're going to, like you said, Brandon, they're going to eat us alive. If we do not, if we just sit there and rely on the three and not get them into foul trouble, the bigs are going to kill us. We have to take it in the paint and kick them in the jaw early. I mean,
Which is a big thing with Acuff being injured lately because the reason, not the only reason, a huge reason he started 1 for 10 in this last game is because he was not getting in the paint. He shot like 2 layups out of his first 10 shots and went 1 of 2 in the paint. He was settling for jumpers. And once he started getting to the lane, he got a couple to go, and then his mid-range jump shot started falling. Then he made a couple threes. But I worry, like, his ankle's not getting better having to play every 2-3 days, right? Like he's gonna still be hobbled in this game. I do think that the added hype, the college game day, Boogie Fland being the matchup, like I think all of these factors are gonna like have him on another level mentally. I hope, but it doesn't just take away from the fact that he is not playing at 100%. So if I agree completely. We have to be getting in the paint. We have to be putting pressure, and that worries me a little more because it's not something that he's been as consistent doing the last 2 games. Three games ago he was Michael Jordan, but
and that's where that's where those pieces that Joey was saying come in. That's where Wagner has to step up. That's where Billy has to step up. That's where all of our guys have to come together and help this guy out. And Billy has been doing great at it. I want to see a little bit more from Thomas, and I think having this much hype, I think Thomas is going to show up and show out. So yeah, I just worry a little bit about Thomas, about getting a little too antsy, a little too excited.
I mean,
because when he dribbles that ball, it stresses me out.
If we can, I do agree with that, Matt. If we can get 20 points from Acuff, if we can get 15 to 18 from Thomas, if we can get 12 from Brazil, if we can get 10 from Wagner, like if Billy continues to get us, 15 to 20, like we've seen him do, I think Billy has the potential to really thrive in this game because we talked last pod about how great his mid-range shot has become. And I think that spot will be open against this team. I think they'll expect Billy to drive to the paint. I think like Chinaloo and I think that Condon, I think that they'll probably kind of sink back more into the paint on the pick and rolls, and they won't be ready for those, mid-range pull-ups. But I think that's where Billy should live in this game because I think that's where he's got the opportunity to really do some damage is in the mid-range.
I'm gonna drop one more stat on you guys before we get into score predictions. Arkansas is currently 3-15 all time on the road against Florida. That's nuts. One of the worst records against an SEC team on the road for the Hogs. But they are 1-1 in their last 2 road games against Florida, so that's maybe a plus. Um, it's just a tough place to play, and I feel like we're always in Gainesville. I very
We
rarely does
are.
Florida get to come to Fayetteville.
Yeah, we never play them here. It always pisses me
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, let them know, Matt. Go on another rant. We got time.
All right.
No, all right. We've talked. I mean, we've talked at length. This one's going to be tough. It's not my favorite matchup. It's on the road. Give me a score prediction. Do you think Arkansas can pull this out?
For the second time this season and the last time this season, I'm going to predict a loss. I just think that being on the road against a team who I think has the potential to win another championship this year, I think it's going to be tough. I think having a hobbled Acuff is going to be tough. I think that we lose this game 93 to 82.
All right. I'll go next. I think I'm in the same boat, similar boat. I also like that you said the last time this season. I think, yeah. Sorry, Matt. I don't think that I will predict a loss in the tournament if we get to the tournament because every time you win a tournament game, my confidence just keeps going up and up and up. But this true road environment, the injuries, but nothing else other really for me than the front court. Like it's just before the season started, we were worried about what our front court was going to look like, and it just has not gotten any better. We've gotten a couple of great games here and there, like one or two. Ewan had a great game against A&M, but it's just I don't know that it's going to be enough defensively. And I think that we're going to give up a lot of offensive rebounds. I think we're going to foul a lot, and we're going to end up playing with some weird lineups at the end of this game again, with Ewan and Pringle, and probably Brazil being in trouble. So
Probably
I'm going to
Sealy. We'll
go.
probably see some Sealy. Just to sorry, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to butt in, but we didn't even
No,
talk about that.
I'm worried that we might see Zavic in this one.
Great.
But I'm going to go, yeah, Arkansas loses this game 88 to 81. End this on a high, Matt.
All right. So I disagree with both you guys. Let me tell you why.
Matt's never predicted a loss in his life.
And I will never. I have too much pride. So
This is the expert analysis
Listen,
you get on 30 Minutes of Hell.
we had a road game stolen from our hooves not too long ago. All right. Against Alabama. I think we still have a bad taste in our mouth about road games. Yes, we are beaten. All right. Yes, we have Acuff on one leg, but Acuff on one leg is better than Boogie on two. Give me Arkansas winning. All right. Arkansas winning 92 to 88.
Okay.
I love
Locked
it.
in.
All right, we're leaving it right there. Cannot wait for this game. I hope, Matt, you're right. Quick
Start
reminder to you
predicting
guys.
wins,
All right, that's all the time we have for you guys today. Quick reminder, we are brought to you by the Field of 68 Podcast Network. You can find us on Twitter, on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your stuff. Please like, subscribe, leave a review, comment, retweet, share with your friends. It really helps us out. We really appreciate it. I have been your host, Brandon Baker, joined as always by Joey Jackson and Matt Jackson. And until next time,